This is how to answer the interview question, what is your leadership style? Or they may ask you, what is your managerial style? And as a pro tip, you actually don't have to be interviewing for a manager role in order to get asked this type of question. Everyone wants to hire somebody with good leadership qualities. That's because they want somebody who can lead projects, even if they aren't in charge. Or they want somebody who can step up and take more responsibility. Or they may even want someone who can grow into a leader or a manager the longer that they stay at the company. And that's why you're gonna get asked this interview question, and this is how you can properly answer it. Step one to answering the interview question, what is your leadership style, is to do your research. You're going to want to look at the company's website to see if they have any leadership principles, just like Amazon does right here. And for companies like that, you can literally copy and paste these and use these qualities to answer the interview question. But not all companies will literally say their leadership principles on their website, and it's going to be less obvious. So you're going to have to look at their mission statement and their core company values. Let's look at Google here as an example. Based on Google's mission statement here, you can see that they want to be helpful and they want to improve lives. And based on the core values that they have on their website, they're going to want to hire somebody who builds belonging, can expand opportunities like growing their team or having their team members step up, and respond to crisis as a manager. Okay, but what do you do if you can't find anything helpful on the company website, or you actually forget to do this and you don't have time before your actual interview? Here are some good general adjectives that anyone can say when they need to answer this interview question. First, you want to say that your leadership style or managerial style is flexible, because you know that not one size can fit all. Everyone's going to have different personalities on the team, and people are going to want to be worked with and communicated with very differently. And you're going to want to be able to alter your communication style or leadership style depending on the situation and the people that you're working with. Next, you're going to want to say that you like to empower others, because good ideas can come from anybody, and you want to foster a safe psychological environment so people can feel that they can be themselves and contribute to their success. And by saying this shows that you have humility, you're not a micromanager, and you're willing to share the spotlight. Next, you can describe yourself as proactive, because good leaders want to prevent problems before they even happen. They don't sit around and wait for problems to arise. You can also say that you are a good communicator. This is important because you want to make sure everyone on your team feels heard and that you're a good listener. And this is also important because you want to be able to clearly communicate the company or project goals and objectives. Next, you can also describe your leadership style as decisive. Even if your decision ends up being wrong, people like to have leaders who are decisive because they need someone who can actually take a stand and make a decision when things are tough. And you also sometimes need to make a decision very quickly, and you don't always have time to get everyone's opinion. Okay, so after you've done your research on the company and/or you've memorized a few of these 5 general attributes about leadership style, now is when you need to make sure you have a really solid example that can demonstrate your leadership style. Now, you don't want this to be a full star answer of like 3 to 5 minutes. You kind of want this to be an abbreviated version. You want your example to be 1 minute to 2 minutes. And if you don't know what the STAR method is, I've got a whole video explaining what that is right here, so go ahead and watch that and come back to this if you don't know what it is. Okay, so now I want to help you think about some examples that you can actually turn into a STAR story that you can use to demonstrate your leadership qualities. So think about any time where you've had to coach others, or you've taken ownership or leadership of a project and you've stepped up to accomplish something. Maybe you had to manage an external vendor for your company. Or you saw someone on your team being treated poorly and you decided to do something about it. Or maybe you fixed a problem or fixed some type of process that ended up helping your entire team. Or was there a time where you were proactive and actually prevented some type of problem? Think through these ideas and see if any of those trigger projects for you that you can actually turn into a story. Okay, so now I'm going to give you my actual example of what I would use to answer the interview question, describe your leadership style. I would describe my leadership style as flexible, proactive, and empowering. It's important to be flexible because there isn't one size fits all that would work for everyone on the team and for each different company. Every company is going to have different cultures, and each person is going to want to be communicated with differently, whether I'm their manager or just someone that's helping out on a project. I also try to be proactive. That way my team isn't blindsided or caught off guard and put into crisis mode and has to work long hours or needs to scrap an entire project and restart all over again. And lastly, I want to empower everyone on my team to think about scalability and improving a process, because good ideas can come from everybody, and if we work together, it will be able to accomplish a whole lot more. Now, as a short example, after I was promoted into my lead recruiting position, I inherited a new team of recruiters that I needed to work with in order to deliver our hiring goals across the US and in APAC. I had a mixture of seasoned recruiters and some brand new recruiters to the space. And as a new team, one of the most important things I wanted to accomplish is making sure that we showed up as true business partners who were knowledgeable about the space when we started to work with our business clients. So I organized a few hours of training and onboarding just for my team, where I could teach everybody about the role, the competitive competitive landscape, the competitors, and the industry. That way we could show up as true strategic partners. I also proactively created an FAQ section and made sure that all of my training would be able to proactively address any little nuances and questions that came up around our hiring process, interview questions, or negotiating offers. And then after all the training and onboarding was done, I actually gave everybody on the team full autonomy to run their own recruiting desk. And all I did was pull weekly and monthly reports to provide overall status. And one of the advantages of this is that one of the recruiters ended up hiring one of the most important executives for us in APAC. Okay, so now you know how to answer one of the trickiest interview questions: how do you describe your leadership style? And if you have any other interview questions that you want us to help you answer, go ahead and put that down in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't be afraid to shake things up.